Hi guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the Mercedes AMG GT R, the beast of the green hell, but in solar beam yellow, which is a fantastic looking color. Straight away we're going to be opening this massively long engine bay. That is the Mercedes AMG engine. It's covered in carbon fiber, handcrafted by somebody's name I cannot really understand with that signature. And of course the engine is actually closer to the body because it is a front mid engine. Obviously you've got insulation here, but the material is kind of different. It says AMG there, actually it's plastic, and this is to draw in air so this big motor can actually breathe. Oh my goodness, the hood is so freaking long. Hydraulic struts, of course. Let's put them down straight away. The car looks so angry at the front. It's like ready to eat you up with that massive gulping face. In fact, there are air dams everywhere and air flaps and whatnot. Crazy aerodynamics, but Pan Americana grille. The headlights have been updated. You see, it gets a different sort of a DRL. Of course, these lights have adaptive high beam assist plus something of that sort. There's a Mercedes logo right there. You can see that. And it says AMG on the inside. The lights are really very strong. In fact, the DRL actually converts into the indicator, which you can see here. You get front parking sensors, you get a front camera right there, and of course the ground clearance is really very low, but there's an active flap right there below which can be retracted or turned on with a press of a button on the inside. Meanwhile, there's a air curtain here for better aerodynamics. You can see that. Of course, Mercedes has made this car quite obnoxious in terms of dimension. There's a power bulge on the hood as well. Meanwhile, this is actually more than 2 meters wide, more than 4.5 meters in terms of length, and the height is almost 1.3 meters, making it a very sporty looking beautiful car with a lot of gloss black and of course a lot of carbon fiber as well. Just look at this beast. It looks super duper sexy. My goodness, that hood is so freaking long. Anyways, it says V8 bi-turbo right there, and this is kind of finished in carbon fiber as well. Now this obviously seems functional. No fake stuff because this is a proper AMG. Okay, these are forged alloy wheels. The tire size up front happens to be a 275/35/19. Alloys look really nice. Look at the size of the disc. That is actually bigger than the size of wheels on most hatchbacks. It says AMG carbon ceramic because these are carbon ceramic brakes. Absolutely stunning stopping power. Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires on this car. The Mercedes logo right there, of course. And when you come behind, you realize that it gets a staggered tire setup, which means that the rear tire is actually bigger in terms of size. I mean, it's a 20-incher. The front is obviously a 19-incher. This is a 325/30/20. Again, AMG carbon ceramic right there. Look at the size of the disc. The tires look really very nice. AMG lettering on the alloy wheel as well. In fact, you see the size of the tire. That is massive. What a size. OMG. I just hope this is functional. Okay, it doesn't seem so. Yeah, it is actually drawing in air from there or pushing it out. Whatever. From the rear, my goodness, this car is ready to race. Sorry, KTM. Lot of changes. You get a rear spoiler, which is a fixed unit, which actually can be manually adjusted as well. And you know what? This is actually for the fog. Yeah, this is the rear fog. And of course, the brake light, you get a high mounted brake light as well. The rear spoiler is finished in carbon fiber, and depending on your use, you can actually adjust it the way you like. It says GTR here, no matter what the color is. The R is finished in yellow. The lights have been revised. You can see that as well. It says AMG right there, and it gets the dynamic swipe indicator, which you can see right here. And I think it's kind of dull in the bright sunlight. Meanwhile, this carbon fiber finish here on the lower half, you know why? Because it heats so much that they have to prevent it from burning down. Okay, there's a proper exhaust there. There's another proper exhaust there. And there's a proper exhaust in the center with AMG written right on top. Yeah, proper exhaust. You can see, my goodness. Oh God, this car is so freaking hot. Yeah, it's a proper diffuser as well. Lot of aero bits on this car because this is all about going ballistically fast like a missile, of course. And of course, you've got rear parking sensors, and the reverse parking camera is positioned here. Oh my God, this is such a hot car. I'm in absolute love with this beast. Whew. You won't believe how much attention it attracts. Insane attention it attracts. Wherever you go, people are always looking at it. But before we get inside, I want to show you another cool feature. First and foremost, what we're going to do, we're going to open the doors. Yeah, frameless doors, of course. And we're going to roll down the power windows. One touch up and down. It says AMG right here, which actually blinks at night. And the mirrors also project AMG on the road. Okay, I love the covering of the mirrors. Indicator is here as well. V8 bi-turbo written just to scare people away and tell them, we mean serious business, because this car means absolute serious business. The way it performs is absolutely mind-bogglingly phenomenal. Oh, look at this. Okay, when you open the doors, it's like this car is ready for takeoff. You're going to see it from the front side first. Okay, frameless doors on a sports car is something which is obviously expected, but on this Mercedes, it looks absolutely stunning. If this car had wings, it would fly. I kid you not. If this car had wings, it would definitely fly. I think the design is a 10 on 10. When you look at it in person, you're like, they have outdone themselves. Trust me on this. What a beautiful looking machine. And on the inside also, there's plenty of leather, Napa leather and Alcantara. You can see the finish is so beautiful. Okay, the door pockets are so small, you can barely keep anything inside. And you get the Bonkers speaker. The glove box is actually chin to minto. However, you get the yellow stitching everywhere on the dashboard. The seats are very comfortable. These are, of course, AMG performance seats. Really very nice, but you can get bucket seats which are manually adjustable with a 4-point harness, seatbelt harness, along with a fire extinguisher and a roll cage as well, in case you're deciding to take this car on the racetrack. Well, that would be handy. Let's open the boot of the vehicle, and there the boot actually opens. No, it's not going to open, Faisal. You know why? Because the car is actually turned on. What you're going to do is you're going to turn off the car right now, and there's a button. Where's the button? I can't. Oh yeah, shut the car, shut the door. Door takes some effort to shut. That's kind of weird. Anyways, let's open the boot of the vehicle, and there it opens. There's no button to open it as such, and the spoiler is useful to open the boot. You see, the boot is actually decently useful to keep stuff, but that's the only storage space you're going to find inside this car. There's no spare wheel, there's no space for it, and oh my god, there is this weird insect running around. Dude, where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from? You need to get out right now. Ha! Woo! Oh god, don't tell me he's inside the car. Please get out. That's, oh my goodness, I don't know from where this thing came. It's hiding here. You're gonna have to, he can fly. If you can fly, then you should fly out of the car, not inside it. I had to kill it, because just imagine me driving the car and all of a sudden this insect comes. That would be so freaking scary. I'm sorry about that. We are going to put you to rest later on. Just cover it right now. Unexpected stuff. Okay, AMG written right there. You get a brace, which is a very inconvenient thing inside this car. I'll tell you why in a bit. Okay, you have to put effort to close this, and there it shuts. Now, because of that brace, now the seat adjustment is a bit messed up inside this car. It gets a request sensor on both the doors, which means you put your hand inside these chrome door handles and the car unlocks. You don't have to remove the key. Now the doors actually open quite wide. I'm not going to be comparing it with another hatchback, but you know, it opens wide enough. But the problem is, no matter how wide they open, you know, getting in is a tough task, because the car is obviously really very low. Seats are extremely comfortable. Now just check this out. Okay, I am actually going to be moving the seat, and when I move it behind now, automatically, okay, it's going behind, but it's getting more upright. Yeah, that is a compromise you have to make. If you want the seat to recline, okay, I'm going to try and recline the seat here. When I'm reclining the seat is moving ahead. That is because of that brace. There's no space to move. Either you be upright or you be ahead or whatever. Basically, it is a tough way to actually adjust the seat, because there's no space. Okay, it says pre-safe right there. Yellow seat belts, which actually improve the performance by 0.003%. You get nice pedals. This is the electronic parking brake. That is the button to open the boot of the car. These are the controls for the headlight. This is for the rear fog light. And you know what? It gets memory seats, but the button is such, you know, you have to stop the car, open the door, and then only try to figure out how to use it. Obviously, it gets electric adjust, and then you can obviously increase the under thigh support from here. So in terms of seat comfort, the car is fantastic. I'm sweating like crazy. We are inside. Yeah. As soon as you unlock the car and sit inside, Mercedes logo, and then it obviously shows the GTR's front face as well with the headlights on. Dashboard looks super duper awesome, really sporty, really good quality as well. Soft touch material, nice yellow stitching. There's nothing to complain about the cabin, but you know what, storage space is a problem. But there's a storage space. There's actually a net. Can you see? There's actually a net here where I've put my gimbal, because I'm going to go YouTube live right away in some time, and you can actually throw all your luggage from here as well. Okay, there is a light along with a sun visor. Same is the case here as well. Light along with a sun visor. It says airbag, and the seat belt is a bit difficult to operate in this car. That said, let's do one thing. Let's turn on the vehicle, and there it rose to life. Oh my god, it rose to life. One touch up, power window. Obviously, these are the controls for the power window. These are the controls for the outside rear view mirror adjustment, just to lock or unlock the car. And Bonkers speakers, tweeters, I mean, look at the quality of the cabin. It just feels surreal. Auto dimming inside rear view mirror. These are the buttons for the lights, okay? Bright lights, but you know, could have had LEDs. So this is the SOS button. It also gets Mercedes Me connected car tech. Unfortunately, this car doesn't seem to be having it, because when I say, hey Mercedes, nothing happens. It gets heated seat for the driver and the co-passenger. This is for the parking sensors to turn them on or off, and this is for the hazard light. Now this button is for the parking camera. I press this button, there the camera turns on. Okay, it gets no, it doesn't get guidelines. It's oh no, actually it's the front camera. We can switch the camera like this. Yeah, we can switch the camera like this. No, there are no guidelines on offer, but it's got cameras almost everywhere, front and rear actually, and a 360-degree view, which is for the parking sensors. Let's get out of this menu. Now what has been changed? It gets a new steering wheel. It gets a new 10.25-inch not a touch screen, sorry, an infotainment screen, which is very fluid to use, and obviously a 12.3-inch instrument cluster as well. So these are the updates. It gets Apple CarPlay, it gets Android Auto connectivity, but no touch screen, and voice commands also don't work really well because it doesn't get hey Mercedes and all that. Although on Mercedes website it says it has got ambient lighting as well, which is not there in this car, and ambient light of course is 64 colors. Okay, you get this nice command controller. Globally I think they have a touchpad now in the latest cars. Now it's easy to browse through all this because you can just go like this. Obviously it's got the usual bit which we are so used to right now: navigation, radio, media, telephone, in-car, office, vehicle. But you're going to get into vehicle because there's some cool stuff to show you, like obviously track pace, which first warns you so that you're not too motivated to go really quick on the road. It's only for racetrack use. Basically it gives you a lot of telemetry data where you can time your acceleration runs and drag race and whatnot. You can see that. So you can actually go and do a drag race of acceleration, quarter mile braking. It's very simple. Okay, pull away or select manual start. Here I rev the motor. Not going to do anything, but you can decide manual start, and it says ready, 3, 2, 1, and off we go. Okay, then it's going to time the car, and I mean this is just cool stuff which is also there in the Ford Mustang, which doesn't compete with this car. But I'm telling you, there's just so much cool stuff inside this car. Although ventilated seats would be really very nice, and the usual stuff which you've seen in a ton of Mercedes car. Okay, dynamic select shows you the engine data as well as the vehicle data, how much power and torque you're using in real time. That's also cool. But expected thing, oh my god, it's so freaking loud. I think everybody will wake up on a Sunday. And usual vehicle data showing you, like, yeah, again the same thing, how much angle you're turning, how much accelerator or brake you're pressing. This is something which is not new at all, but then it's cool enough. Audio quality, well, Burmester speakers do work really nicely. Let's listen to an audio right away. Audio quality is actually pretty nice, and it says AMG when you turn it on, and it says do not let command distract you from the traffic situation. No, command is not distracting me. The car itself is so distracting with its tremendous power output. Okay, steering wheel gets the flat bottom treatment of course, and gloss black so many places. You see the paddles are also very nice, again finished in gloss black. Now these are actually the controls for the audio system. These are the controls for the cruise control as well as that menu right there, and it says AMG right here. Now this is for the drive mode selector, like so much like Ferrari cars. Very easy to actually browse through this and decide your drive mode as well. We're just going to put it to comfort at the moment, and this is actually programmable. So if I press this button, rather this button there, it actually turns on the camera because I programmed it to that. This for the active exhaust, and then I can press it inside to browse through and decide what menu you want, and all the menus are there here. Like almost everything you want is inside this menu itself. Otherwise it's here as well, and this has been made to replicate a V8. Okay, the way the cylinders are in a V8. So this is actually the volume controller. This is for the stop start system. This is to actually deploy the front flap which is under the front underbody. This is for the active exhaust. This is for the drive mode selector. This is for the gearbox, manual or drive. Here you can just decide that. And this is for the suspension. You can decide how you want the suspension to be, comfort, sport or sport plus. And this is for the traction control. Press it once, it gets ESP sport. Keep it pressed, then traction control turns off. Here I've kept it pressed, and there traction control turns off. And once it does, this thing gets activated. You can decide from the 9 levels of traction control that how much madness do you want. Yeah, this is complete TC off, and this obviously when it becomes yellow, it is easier. And then they have this yellow thing also to tell you exactly where your steering is getting positioned. Just kidding about that. So you see everything is very nicely done. So much sweat right now, but you have the AMG logo right there, and below the front center armrest there's actually a place to keep your key. You can actually slot the key there. We're just going to remove the key from my pocket and show that to you as well. Here you see, you can just do that if you so wish. Actually turned off the car. Never mind. Let me just remove that. Okay, there's this SD card slot, 2 USB charging sockets as well. And let's turn on the car again. Okay, in fact, let's turn on the car. There you see, it rose to life. It says AMG right there. There is storage space here with 2 cup holders and a USB charging socket. Press this and it closes. These are the controls for the air conditioning. This is the engine start stop button, which is actually finished in red. Okay, there's just one lever which is for the indicator as well as the wipers. The wipers work really well. Plenty of spray on offer. But unfortunately the spray has reached me also. I'm sweating. It's not the water, it's just so hot right now. And the car is also so hot, it emits a lot of heat as well. So this new instrument cluster, although it's not really new but new in the AMG GT R, is also a very legit unit. You can have 3 different modes for the same. Here you see it's very easy to browse it. We're just going to get into sport right away, and then you can actually come to the tachometer side, and then you can decide what you want. You want to see the engine boost, you want to see AMG tire pressures, and what is the data. It says 3.6 kilometers per liter for my 30-kilometer drive today morning, which was just 8 kilometers. So yeah, that is the world map navigation, and this is the regular tachometer, wherein in between I can also see the G-force meter. That's pretty cool, huh? Okay, it's showing how much power and torque I'm consuming in real time. Pretty slick system, I love it. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's get into the menu. Now whatever you can do on the left screen, you can do on the right screen as well, and the usual bits, but it's the AMG performance which is really attractive to me, because you get to see how much power and torque you're consuming in real time, and then you can see what is the mode like. Okay, when I change the mode, you see all the things change. It shows the display right there as well. And of course in Sport Plus, you can see the active exhaust turns on all of a sudden and becomes really very loud as such. So a beautiful instrument cluster, a nice infotainment screen as well, and the cabin is really sporty, good quality, looks very nice. I love the yellow stitching, I love the yellow everywhere, no matter what you say. They have done a brilliant job in terms of the color scheme, and this is actually a carbon fiber roof to reduce the weight of the vehicle, but still weighs a lot. It has to, because it has a monster of an engine. Quality levels faultless in this car, but honestly, how is it to drive? Well, it's a ballistic missile, it's a nuclear bomb. Alright, we are all set to go, which means turning off the air conditioning, getting into drive mode, getting into race mode, and I'm also going to put the traction control into sport. Now the good news is that there is so much grunt on offer from this car that it absolutely pins you back in the seat, but I'm not going to talk. I'm going to turn off the hazard light, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor, race start. It actually could not put all that power down, because this is a rear wheel drive car, which means there's just too much grunt going to the rear wheels, and then obviously with so much performance on the rear wheels, it cannot put all that power down, especially in sport handling mode, because even then the traction control is on, of course. So this is the Mercedes AMG GT R, which uses a 4-liter bi-turbo V8 motor known as the M178 in Mercedes parlance, and it produces 585 horsepower in this particular car at 6,250 RPM. The result is absolute bonkers performance. Torque output 700 Newton meters, which actually comes in at 2,100 RPM and stays there at 5,500 RPM. This car is so tractable at every given moment. There's just grunt throughout the rev range. How have they achieved it over the lesser GT models? Very simple. Okay, the turbochargers are now faster spinning, they're more responsive, and the exhaust is also new, which uses titanium to cut weight by 6 freaking kgs. The result is, I keep saying the result is this. Before you think about it, it absolutely catapults ahead. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, 3.6 seconds, which is not very impressive, because this is actually slower than the Mercedes E63, which is a 4-door sedan from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. But who really cares? Because the way it accelerates is bonkers. It's not about 0 to 100 here, it's about 0 to 200, 0 to 300, because the top speed is 318 kilometers per hour. It absolutely flies like nobody's business, but it's super duper 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 stiff. The stiffness of this car is unbelievable. Thankfully, we have better road ahead. So we're going to do one thing, we're going to launch it yet again, which means last time I could not launch it properly. See, the brakes are super duper awesome. Carbon ceramic brakes are optional, which improve the braking performance, of course. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor, race start. Red line actually comes in at 7,000 RPM. But what is so good about the AMG GT? It's not the fastest in terms of 0 to 100 km per hour acceleration. It's actually the handling. It is so pinpoint accurate. It absolutely jinks into corners. Even though the hood is 5 kilometers long, it still just darts into the corner like pinpoint accurate, like it's on race. The handling is unbelievable. The steering response is fantabulous, and the engine sounds so good as well. Okay, I know they have put an OPF filter to make it comply with new emission norms. Okay, this is BS6 emission compliant. However, that is kind of reduced the overall matte sound of the older GTR, but still it's loud enough. It's very fast, very loud, and just super duper sharp in terms of handling characteristics. Now, what can better this? Obviously, the Black Series, which has 143 horsepower more and 100 Newton meters extra torque, and a lot of changes for better handling characteristics as well. The result is it's 0.4 seconds faster and has a 7 km/h faster top speed as well. The way this car puts down the power is unbelievable. Okay, to put down all that power, obviously it has got a limited slip differential on the rear axle, which, you know, when you're cornering can decide how much power it should put to the individual rear wheels. So when you're driving in race mode, you realize it's absolutely bonkers. So you just shift to comfort mode, and there are 6 drive modes on offer. There's slippery, there's individual, there's comfort, there's sport, sport plus, and race as well. What do they exactly do? They change 5 parameters mainly: the engine, the transmission, obviously, and then the AMG. Okay, we are here stuck at a speed breaker, which means that I have to actually turn it around. Now I'll give you a secret: whenever you're on a speed breaker, always turn it right side. That way this car somehow manages better to turn without scraping the underbody, of course. Okay, now the AMG Dynamic Modes have 4 packages as well. There is basic, there is advanced, there is pro, and there is master as well, which actually works with the ESP system of the car, as well as, of course, the steering wheel as well. And you can see the turning radius isn't that much because it's got rear wheel steering too. So basically there are a lot of complex systems in this car. In fact, there are infinite ESP modes as well, like ESP off, and then there's the ESP sport mode, and then there's this 9-level traction control, which is when you turn off ESP, which I'm going to do right now here. ESP off. Now I can decide what I want the traction control level to be. That's absolutely crazy. That's like murder mode. How fast do you want to get yourself killed? Move the knob and you'll realize the red is sooner and yellow is like, okay, some amount of delay there as well. The ride quality is absolutely atrocious. Okay, it's so stiff, it's unbelievably stiff, and you can hear almost every road surface inside the car. The other problem is our roads are very bad. Of course, even the smoothest of roads tend to be very bad in this car because it's mainly meant for the track. Small, you know, what do I call them? Stones actually get caught inside the wheel, and then they make a lot of noise as well. But all these issues of ride quality go for a toss as soon as you get on the throttle. Even in comfort mode, the kind of acceleration is absolutely mind-bogglingly baffling to me. Okay, like I was telling you, it changes a lot of parameters, right from the suspension, the engine, the transmission, the steering wheel, and the ESP together as the AMG Dynamic. And of course, it even alters. Oh my god, I can feel so much stiffness right now. It's baffling. Let's do one thing. Let's actually get this car straight away into the mode which I've already pre-configured, the individual mode. It also configures the exhaust system because the exhaust system obviously has a flap. And what does that flap do? Let's get out of here actually. It can be opened or closed so that you can actually make the car very silent when you don't want your neighbors to hear about your success. But who really cares? Here we are in manual mode, onto the throttle. This is a car which can pull in any gear. Now it's a 7-speed dual clutch automatic gearbox, which is super duper quick with shifts. It's so fast, it's unbelievably quick. And the gearbox is actually at the rear because there's no space in the engine bay ahead. And this is the last AMG, which is actually, yeah, you heard that right, rear wheel drive, because they're going 4-wheel drive with almost everything. The C63 was the last of it, and now the C-Class has been updated. The updated C-Class obviously ditches V8s for 4-cylinder hybrids and whatnot, but that's not the problem. The problem is it goes 4MATIC, and so will the next generation AMG GT as well. Now coming ahead to a U-turn, let me tell you that this car's turning radius is actually quite small for a sports car of this size, all thanks to rear wheel steering. Yeah, rear axle steering is there in this vehicle. The result is that it can actually tilt by 1.5 degrees depending on what speed you're going. Below 100 km/h, it changes in the opposite direction. So the rear wheels turn in the opposite direction to the front wheels by 1.5 degrees in order to virtually reduce the wheelbase to make it more maneuverable. Meanwhile, above 100 km/h, it changes direction as per the front wheels. Yeah, in the same direction as the front wheels to actually virtually increase the wheelbase. You know, a shorter wheelbase is better agility and a longer wheelbase is better high-speed stability. So yeah, that's also fantastic, but 1.5 degrees is actually very less when the new S-Class is doing 4.5 degrees or 10 degrees as well. But the wheel size is so massive on this car now, you cannot, turn the wheel more than 1.5 degrees at the rear. Massive wheels, absolutely crazy amount of grip on offer, and this is a car when you even drive it very sedately, you can still feel that, okay, the engine is calm, but the suspension is just not. Now, the suspension is obviously adjustable. You have got AMG ride control, you can electronically control the dampers, but you can also manually adjust the coilover springs. For that you need some tools and a lot of patience as well. absolutely insane, right? Now the AMG GT Black Series takes over the mantle. This has been discontinued globally because now what they've done is that the GTC has been updated with more features and more power as well, and then the GTR Pro and the GTR Roadster were also there, which were limited to 750 units each. They also are kind of out of stock, but the GT Black Series, which is now the top of the line range because the GTR is discontinued, that car is 2000 units. Yeah, again limited to 2000 units. It's coming to India really very soon, and it has even bonkers performance. It's going to be costing at least 1 crore more than this one, which is priced at rupees 2.98 crores on road Mumbai, 25 lakhs more ex-showroom when you compare it to the earlier AMG GTR. And the insurance on this is alone rupees 10 lakh rupees. Okay, the hood is so freaking long, right? It gives me jitters. 5 kilometers is the actual measurement which I was able to do of the hood of this vehicle. And because the engine is closer to the body, they tried to achieve a 50-50 weight distribution, but they kind of failed at it because it's 47 up front and 53 at the rear. But still, the car feels so balanced. The steering wheel is so accurate. The braking performance is surreal. And here, I'm just going to flip the mode. Here, we're going to get into, I have actually configured the individual mode. Downshift. You know, it all of a sudden feels like a javelin throw. That is the level of performance on offer. Absolutely crazy bonkers. You just have to be really very careful over bad bumps because this car is not forgiving to the passenger. You can feel everything inside. Each and everything on the road can be felt on your ass. That's the scenario, period. Revving the motor, race start. Can you increase the revs? You don't need to. 5000 RPM. Before you know it, this car is gone absolutely berserk. Now it weighs 1630 kgs and they've done a lot to reduce the weight of the car. Like obviously, you know, the roof is made of carbon fiber, a lot of carbon fiber here and there, and really active aerodynamic bits as well to make sure this car is very agile. And it is. It really jinks into corners. Handling is super duper awesome. In fact, lane change is so quick, it's so fast that it actually gives you a headache the way it's able to change lane. It surprises the person who's sitting with you silly. That is the kind of handling it has. Absolute pinpoint. And that's the real wonder of rear wheel drive. You know, when you go 4MATIC or 4-wheel drive, it just loses that charm. There's added weight, of course, and the bulk and all that. That's the reason why this car is so quick on its nose. The way the front end feel is there is surreal to say the least. And the brakes, oh my god, the car stops dead in its track. Everything as far as performance goes, this AMG GTR is extreme in the real word of the sense. Okay, real sense of the word rather. And it sounds so nice. The cracks, the pops and the barks at upshifts, the cracks and pops on downshifts. Okay, listen to this here. In fact, you can manually take control of the gearbox if you so wish, which I'm going to do right now. We're going to downshift. Listen to this, okay? 7000 RPM madness. I cannot keep up with shifting because the dual clutch gearbox is just so freaking fast. It's any day faster than me, and it always prioritizes to get you the right gear at all given moments because this is all about raw performance, and that's what Mercedes has really achieved with the GTR. What an epic car. It is so epic that this exact car is Mercedes' safety car offering for Formula 1. Yeah, this is the Formula 1 safety car. Exact same, no difference. 585 horsepower, 700 Newton meters of torque, and whenever there's a need to stay ahead of the Formula 1 pack, all the driver needs to do is to get into the horizon. You know, the speedometer skips things. The digital speedometer skips a lot of numbers just to get you ahead. That is the crazy performance on offer. Okay, we're going to do race start again, and yeah, it does rattle quite a bit, unfortunately.
You'll give me a heart attack one day.
Alright, here we go. We are in comfort mode. Here, race start. My god, the performance is absolutely crazy. In fact, pre-safe seat belts, okay, rather pre-safe is working. I applied brakes, all of a sudden the seat belt tightened so quickly. Alright, I'll be very honest with you. This car is akin to a sauna. You turn off the air conditioning, it takes so much effort. It's like a gym exercise as well. These expansion joints are so terrible. I never realized the expansion joints on this road unless and until I drove an AMG GTR. And then of course lane change is so freaking quick. Oh my god, it simply, like, it catapults into a corner like nobody's business. This is an epic handling car. Okay, performance, obviously, you know, it's an AMG, so it's going to really scare you silly in terms of the acceleration. But more than the acceleration, the way it's able to handle, that is what really puts a smile on your face. Steering weighs up beautifully well. What a steering wheel, absolutely stunning. So as I see it, the AMG GT R is a real beast of the green hell, but out on the road you can barely, you know, use any of that performance. It's just too powerful for our roads. It is meant for the track. It is the track version of the GT, which actually there's also GTR Pro, which is the track version of the already track version GTR, and then there's the GTR Black Series, which is a track version of the already track version GTR Pro, which is already a track version of the GTR. Oh my god, what are we going to do? We need more tracks for sure. It barks. The exhaust barks, and which brings me to the sad news that the fuel economy is between 2 to 5 kilometers per liter depending on your driving style. Of course, it's going to drink a lot of fuel, and in the future Mercedes is going to go 4MATIC. And actually, you know why the Black Series is launched? It's the last hurrah of the particular model. So this was launched in 2014. Really soon it's going to get discontinued because the next generation model will be coming. That's the reason they got the Black Series, and the Black Series is like the ultimate in terms of performance, and obviously the AMG GT Black Series is that and more. Whew. What a car. What an absolute beast. Now, if I have to sum up this car, I would just say they have just made a race car for the road, which obviously is very track focused, quite uncomfortable as such. Like, there's no space to sit inside. It is just very harsh in terms of the ride quality. But put that aside, this is an absolute beast. Now, it competes with another beast, which is the Porsche 911 GT3 RS, which is also bonkers fast. Okay, it produces lesser power, it uses a smaller engine as well, but then Porsche's engineering capability makes it quite a beast as well. It's actually faster from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, taking 3.4 seconds. But the character of this AMG GT, the way it performs, the way it handles, and most importantly, the way it makes you feel, unbelievable. So while I absolutely love the Mercedes AMG GT R, I feel that it's so much of an attention grabber. It's insane. You can't drive it on Indian roads at all without people coming around. When you stop, they get out the cameras and all that stuff. And yeah, it's a bit twitchy under very heavy braking. That's because of the road conditions. It's just not apt. If you're looking to drive on the track, well, then this is a fantastic machine, because that's where it truly shines with its mad performance. And more than the performance, it's really the handling, which, you know, is the highlight here. You see, the movement is crazy. It's like, you know, on the road you're like fighting with the steering wheel when you shouldn't be doing that, because there is just way too much stiffness on offer. Like, they've gone ahead and stiffened their already stiff AMG GT even further to make the GTR so freaking stiff, and then some noise also. But here you see this. This is the actual fun of driving a Mercedes AMG GT R. The way it performs, I mean, the performance is really the highlight here. It's absolutely bonkers mad, and that madness is the reason why you would want to get an AMG GT R. And of course, the handling. I keep stressing on the handling because the handling is so freaking amazing. Okay, and there's so many customizable things as well. You can take a lot of time to get your perfect settings, and once you do, you are absolutely going to love this car, because it is mind-bogglingly phenomenal in the true sense of the word. And here again we're going to launch, and look at this. So guys, this is my vlog of the Mercedes AMG GT R. Absolutely fantastic machine. What a beast, what performance. I love it. And if you did too, please give this video a like. That's a thumbs up, and also subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video real soon. You can't hear the horn. Absolutely not, because the engine is louder than it. So right now we are in manual mode with this particular instrument cluster. Just see how it exactly tells you that, you know, you need to change gears. First gear. It reaches 100 in second, of course. Bye.